Whether you're doing purchase loans or you're doing refinance loans, or hell, if you're doing any type of sales transaction right now in order to make your living, I think one thing is a very important piece that you got to pay attention to, and it's understanding the difference between your perception and your prospect's perception. And what I mean by that, and this plays heavily on loan officers, so if you're LO, light up those hearts, but if you're an LO, you understand it the most because, your perception has been wired in a certain way to look at certain things. And then that justifies whether or not you believe you yourself can even close that deal. You might be used to a market where you're lowering the rate or you're paying off debt, you're lowering the payment, and you're able to save them like $700, $800 per month. But as of late, because of the increase with the market, you're giving them a higher rate. You're charging them more fees. You're used to not even having to charge fees because you're able to give a low rate and, no cost, right? Like rebate, lender credits cover your costs. But here's the problem, is that if you don't adapt and actually adjust your perception to what your client's perception is, you're never going to be sold on whatever you're trying to pitch your client. Does that make sense? And I met it with a couple of people on my team, and I like to refer to it as PTSD. It's like you've been bit before, and so it's hard for you to go up against it because your insecurities on the inside, and that's only something that you can really deal with. And the reason why I'm making this video is because you might very well have these insecurities. You might very well be that person who, you're worried because you don't think you could deliver value, or you're worried because you are being held against your KPIs. And so your team or your manager, your VP is saying, pull credit, pitch everything, right? And you're going through the motions and you already know in your head, you're like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to do this deal. You know who takes on the weight? Who takes on most of the weight is us as LOs, right? We take on the weight because we're like, fuck, I gotta make sure I turn this lead into an app, but you don't see the benefit. And the reason why most of the time you don't see the benefit is because you're looking at the situation through your own lens, meaning it's your perception. And so you might believe that if you can't lower their rate, or you can't give them a no closer, like a free loan, you're not doing them justice. Or if they're not paying off more than $4,000 in credit card debt, you can't serve benefit to them. And I promise you, that's not the reason why you can't close them. The reason why you can't close them is because you yourself are not closed on the solution that you're presenting to your prospect.